I'm 29 years old this year, once dating a girl whom I loved deeply, yet she left me for money to pursue a wealthy neighbor. But near the end of 2019, she found me crying and apologizing when she realized that the wealthy neighbor had no long-term intentions and wanted to return. Initially, I tried to act tough, but deep down, I still had feelings for her. Gradually, we returned to normal, and our feelings resurfaced. Due to her frequent conflicts with her mother while living with her and her 2 children, she hoped I could help build a house on the land in her name for us to live together. Misinterpreting her true feelings for me, I ignored the advice of readers and my friends, agreeing to build a house on the land she owned, without any consideration. After nearly 10 months of the COVID pandemic, the house was completed in December 2020, costing $1.5 billion. The house was beautiful, fully equipped, and we officially moved in after a warm, grand housewarming party with both families, friends, and relatives. I was extremely happy living in the house with my girlfriend and her 2 children. She opened a home hair salon for work and pocket money, while I covered almost all living expenses each month. Life went smoothly for nearly a year and a half until April 2022, when I faced a major setback in business and almost ended up with nothing. Once again, I felt depressed and overwhelmed, but this time, it was about finances. I sat down to talk to her about what happened. Instead of comforting and encouraging me to overcome difficulties, she criticized and blamed me for not discussing my business with her beforehand, leading to financial ruin. Knowing it was my fault and also in a state of crisis, I silently endured without any reaction. Being left with nothing, I had to work again for a salary of 13 million Vietnamese dongs per month. Besides paying for electricity, water, and internet, I gave her 5 million because I worked all day and only ate dinner at home. Since the amount I contributed each month was much less than before, she became unhappy and gradually changed her attitude. Sensing the unpleasant atmosphere, I said I wouldn't have dinner at home anymore to spare her complaints about serving me. I also stopped giving her money monthly and only paid fixed expenses related to utilities. I was truly saddened but had no other choice due to force majeure. She became indifferent and cold towards me, making life dull, and it continued until Tet in 2023. After Tet, she moved to her daughter's room, and we officially stopped sleeping together every night. My intuition hinted that she might have someone new, but I didn't care much because partly the feelings had cooled, and partly I was busy working all day from morning till 7 p.m. About 2 months ago, while randomly checking the security camera, I discovered her going out and being brought back by a man. I reviewed all the camera footage and connected the events, realizing she started seeing this man almost at the same time she stopped sleeping with me. They regularly went out together every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday evenings, coinciding with the days she went to the cultural club near our house for rhythmic gymnastics classes. Unlike before, I no longer felt jealous or curious about the man. I just felt saddened that the person who lived with me as a spouse was unfaithful and ungrateful. Knowing that our breakup was imminent, I began to think about life changes but silently wondered where to go with empty hands. The land was in her name, while I invested money in building the house. After much thought, I decided to talk to her. We hadn't spoken for a long time, and almost never met because I worked all day, and when I got home, she deliberately avoided me, so we stayed in separate rooms. During our conversation, as I predicted, she complained about being tired and unwilling to live with me anymore. I brought up the fact that I ended up with nothing and the amount of money I invested in building the house. If she compensated me, I would accept leaving that house. She began calculating and listing many things: wasting her youth, missing the chance to get to know someone else while living with me, being labeled as a husband twice, the effort to take care of me during our time together. It sounded exhausting, but I remained calm and restrained. In conclusion, I asked her how much she could give me. She said she could only manage 600 million. Feeling too tired, I hardly argued and asked when she could give me the money. She said she was arranging the money this way and that, trying to pay me back by early September. Currently, I am waiting for that day to come. I wrote my true story to relieve my soul, not to ask for advice from readers, because almost now, there is only one path left to take, no other choice. I just hope to send a message to everyone that being honest and treating each other well is important, because life is very short. Live and handle your daily relationships in a way that helps you sleep well, is guilt-free, and is consistent with your conscience. I sincerely thank the readers for taking the time to read my long story with an unhappy ending.
Thank you for your time with Late Night Confides. Please like, share and subscribe to give us more motivation. See you again in the next video.